Right, hello, can we all hear me? I hope you can all hear me. We're live. I know the game hasn't even finished. It's still playing. I'm in the biggest rush of my life right now. Because I've got plans and I'm meant to be away for 7 o'clock. It is 7:15 right now. There's still 5 minutes left to be played. So we're technically doing a bit of a watch along here. I've got a wee bit of a watch along if you like, but I'm decided I'd come and give you my post-match thoughts and such with a little bit time left to spare on the game, so welcome along. I am sweating. I am absolutely sweating. I've been panicking, I've been rushing, I've been getting ready, and to be honest, the second half has been nothing but a blur to me. I've kind of kept up with the goals, and that's about it. So everybody make sure to get your thoughts in, like and subscribe. I hope you have all enjoyed the game. It's nice to have Celtic back, as we all know, and a much more competitive sort of fixture today. The fact that, you know, the game at the weekend was a 7-0, or sorry, during the week, was a 7-0, the opposition weren't so great. It was good. We still had Celtic back. But to now be back and have a game which shows a little bit more quality, a bit more of a significant sort of challenge in opposition, to see us battling a bit more, it's good to have that sort of Celtic back, and it's good to see a wee bit of competition in the field. But it's still a pre-season friendly. I've seen a lot of people getting carried away in this game. I've seen a lot of people being overexcited about certain players. I've seen people down and out about certain players in certain moments in the game. But once again, can I stress the part that these are pre-season friendly games. There's nothing to get too worked up about. Mistakes happen. It's good to get it out of our system now, rather than the actual season itself. For example, that first goal we conceded today, the pass over to Joe Hart struggles to get the ball, blah, 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 all of that. I'd rather that happen in a pre-season friendly game against Rapid Wien than it happens against Aberdeen on the opening game of the season. So get it out of our systems now. Let's not worry about it too much. And we'll take whatever we can to the end of the season. Anyway, it's nice to see everybody kind of piling into the chat. Let me know what you are thinking in the comments. Let's go through the game then as it wraps up. Obviously, it's still getting played, so I'll update you if anything happens. If anything does happen, then I will let you know, because it is right beside me. I'm currently trying to keep my eyes on it right now. There's a little stoppage in play. So let me get my notes up just from the game since I was taking off from it's these pieces of friendly games. You don't expect much. And I thought the first half was a little bit like that. I thought it was a little bit kind of slow, but we broke the seal, if you like. We got that first goal, and we managed to kind of set the tone of the game, if you like. It was a fantastic goal, by the way. And if you watch it back, can I just stress? I know once again, pre-season friendly game, not going to get carried away with anybody, but I honestly think that Georgios Giacomakis is just fantastic. I think he's honestly unbelievable. The way he brings the ball down to create that first goal is tremendous. Controls it really well in a tight sort of area, holds it up, gets it out wide to, I can't remember who gets it out wide to now. Anyway, it gets to Matt O'Reilly and he finishes it brilliantly. It's a fantastically worked goal, and that's the kind of stuff that we want to see throughout the season. I think to touch on Matt O'Reilly very, very quickly, big season for him. It was brilliant since coming in since January, but now he's really got that role to himself. I think he was sharing the spotlight with Tom Rogic for the last kind of portion of last season. Tom's obviously away now, gone but not forgotten. And he's now got that spotlight to himself. He's got that opportunity to take that role, and I think we've seen glimpses of it in this game that he's going to really kind of stand up in that role. He's going to flourish, and he's going to be the guy that we look to be that sort of creative midfielder. Hamish, I don't know if this is the real Hamish. You can never tell nowadays who's real and who isn't. If this is the real Hamish, hello, I hope you enjoyed your holidays. Joe Hart mistake, but let's get on to it, because my run of play coming up next is that well, actually, Joe Hart makes a massive save in that first half, which we must talk about. It's a huge save. People doubting Joe Hart's abilities to make big saves. This is only a friendly, but it's a fantastic save from Joe Hart. He gets down really quick from a powerful header, makes a big save, but I guess we need to talk about that mistake, and I guess that is the talking point from Joe Hart's game. And you know what? I'm not going to be overly critical. Oh, it's a goal! It's a goal! It's 3-3. Live reaction. There you go, by the way. Emmanuel Ewu has just scored for Rapid Wien. He's made it 3-3 in the 90th minute of the game. Wow. Wasn't even looking at the screen. I just turned around to see celebrations. Corner comes in. And the header is really poor. It's really poor defending from Celtic for the call. It's typical Celtic set-piece defending, isn't it, from previous times? Yeah, very poor from us, right at the death of the game. Scott Bain can't do much about it. It's a really good header. It's directed well. But we have to get up and chance for it. And there's the full-time whistle. So there's your breaking story of the stream. Christ, I never expected that. Rapid Vienna free, Celtic free, 90th minute equaliser. A little bit. I don't think... A very good point from DM McDonald here. I really don't think anybody bothered jumping for that. I think they were just like, let's just make it a draw. It's been a fair game. It's been an equal game. Let's just make it a draw. Anyway, it is 3-3. That's how it ends. Sadly as it is. I was going to touch on the next big point that Hamish has brought up here, if it do be Hamish. Can never tell nowadays who's a real account and who's not. Hamish will message me after the stream saying, by the way, mate, that wasn't me. Hamish brought up the point, and we'll come on to the last goal that has just happened, literally right there. Joe Hart in the first goal. Kieran Auld made a very good point to me. It's pre-season, not going to get over carried away for it. Obviously, it's not nice. I think it's a poor pass in the first place. Joe Hart's recovery to try and get the ball isn't exactly great. He's a bit slow in reacting to it. He kind of throws himself down to it, but not as effectively as you like. But Kieran Auld made a very good point to me, and I'm going to read out what he said now. He said, look, it's pre-season, and if it wasn't pre-season, I think Joe Hart would have done a far better job at trying to defend the ball. But, you know, if you're going in there and you're going to have a collision, you're risking injury in a daft pre-season game. I do think if that was a different game, a competitive game, in a different scenario, it wouldn't have happened. I think Joe Hart would have reacted to the situation a lot better, a lot quicker. And obviously, I don't think the slack pass would have happened either. I think that in these games, it is about getting back to speed. It's about testing the waters. It's about things going wrong, getting out the system, as I said. So I'm glad it's happened now, rather than a competitive point in the season. But it is a poor goal to concede. That does make it 1-1 in the game. And apart from that, in the first half, we were getting stuck right in. I thought we were looking really competitive. We were throwing tackle. I can get Hamish's comment off. Fuck off, Hamish. I thought we were getting stuck right in. We looked competitive. I still felt like we were sloppy at the back throughout the first half and throughout the second half, as we've just seen there from the equalising goal. I thought we were sloppy throughout the game at the back line. And I thought Cameron Carter-Vickers looked a little bit off it. But, you know, I'm not going to read into it. I'm not going to say anything about that. I think he looked a little bit slower to react to situations and stuff like that. But, yeah, it was a joke of a goal we conceded. I just thought we looked a little bit sloppy in that aspect of things. But it was a typical pre-season friendly game performance, I thought in that opening 45 minutes. But one thing that I also picked out from that opening 45 minutes is it just me, or did it look as though Yakimakis had a new sort of burst of pace? It looked as though he had a slight bit of life and he's a bit more speed in him than he normally doesn't. No, nothing about that in the past. It's been bad, but I thought he just looked faster. He looked fresher, and maybe that's what a full pre-season for him at Celtic is going to do for him, and full kind of no injuries going into it. Maybe this is us now seeing the absolute best of him, but I thought that he looked a little bit speedier today, and I liked that. But yeah, going into the second half, slow start, Celtic make it 2-1. It was a good ball from Kyogo, and Turnbull links up with him really well to put the ball in the back of the net. 2-2, rebound goal for them. I thought it was poor marking at the back post from Origide. I'm going to come on to Origide in a moment. We have to talk about him. A good save from from Bain initially, and unlucky to fall to their player for the rebound. The marking was a wee bit off, as I said, throughout the game. I thought we were sort of sloppy defensively. We went up 3-2. Turnbull assisted Kyogo. It was really good to see the rotation of players. We got to see like the likes of Abada, Turnbull, Kyogo all come on in the second half. They smacked the bar. Right at the end, they made it 3-3. Osayi Origide is not good enough to be a Celtic player. I don't care if it's a friendly or not. He's not good enough to be a Celtic player. That's the simple reality. He looks lost. You know when you can look at a player and you know when they're good enough or not. And Osayi Origide is not good enough to be a Celtic player. In my humble opinion. It's pre-season. I'm not going to overreact about things, but that's the only sort of critical takeaway that I will have from this game. That I think that Osayi Origide doesn't look like he's up to speed to be a Celtic. I don't see him getting many first-team chances. It's good to see him get a run out in pre-season, don't get me wrong. Absolutely. Give him minutes, give him the chances. But I don't think that those chances are going to translate into first-team chances in the competitive season. A lot of people as well talking about Julian getting a lot of stick. Apparently Juranovic has a knock, but A lot of people saying the same about Julian, for example. Lawal is more composed than Julian. Julian and Origi, they seem to be taking a lot of stick. And I will urge, and I will say, and I will stress that it is pre-season. These things don't need to be blown away out of proportion, but you can spot things a mile away. You're not naive as a football fan to point these things out. They are serious conversations, they are discussions, and I just don't think that Origi is good enough to play for Celtic. I just don't think there's a certainty around his style of play. I don't think he's sure in what he's doing, and that's not good enough for Celtic, quite simply. But we concede right at the end there. It is a bit of a sickener, it's a bit of a gutter, but what can you do about it? That's what it is. Life is life. And we'll move on. We've got another couple of friendlies. These are just a bit of fun. You've got to remember, Rapid VN season kicks off next week. They're back into action. They're coming into this game with a lot more hunger and such to play well. The fans were right up for it today. They had a decent enough crowd there. Celtic had a good representation of fans over there as well. But their season starts next week. They've got to be bang up for things like this. So they brought the fight to Celtic. But I think there's some really good phases of play to be excited about, to be optimistic about in regards to Celtic. And yeah, I think that we should be excited for the season coming and for the rest of these friendlies. 3-0 is the final score. I have to cut it off there because I'm generally due to leave in 5 minutes. I know, I'm sorry I've had to rush. But it is what it is. The proper content will be back tomorrow over the course of the week, and we'll talk in things a lot more depth, and the watch-alongs will hopefully be back too. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you enjoy your Saturday night. I hope you enjoy Celtic being back. You can go over to 67 Hail Hail now. There you go, Hamish, if you're still watching, and enjoy their coverage over there. But thanks for very much from me, and enjoy your night, as I said. Good.